And good evening, everybody, and welcome. It is time for Bronco baseball on a cloudy but cool and very nice evening. What a difference 24 hours makes. Last night, heat advisories and heat indexes had to be over 100. And tonight, a northeast breeze blowing in and a temperature of 72 degrees. So we've had quite a shift as the front has rolled through south central Kansas here today. Rain all around, but none here in El Dorado. On my 50-minute jaunt up here, drove mainly through rain, some heavy, a lot of lightning, some hail. But you get to El Dorado and there's nothing, which is great because we got one more game to get in. And I know on your link it says Valley Center. That's who I was told last week. We said it would be back-to-back games with Valley Center. The Broncos played and beat last night, but it's the Hutchinson Monarchs here tonight. So I apologize to that. I tried to look for the Hutchinson Monarchs on Twitter to let their fans know that their game would be broadcast here tonight, but I didn't see a Twitter feed for them. So hopefully they will seek around and click the link. I did put the link on the El Dorado Bronco Facebook page and on Twitter today. The Bronco defense to start off this game. Will Bamesberger's in left field. The right fielders Dalton Wheat and Clayton Dalrymple's in center field. Tony Colsing at third. Augie Isaacson's at shortstop. Kyle Kasser at second. And Matt Holcomb's at first base. Josh Galvin is catching tonight. And pitching for the first couple of innings will be Tanner Hart. And first pitch swinging and a base hit put out there by Trevor Turner, the leadoff hitter for the Monarchs. Soft line drive placed beautifully between Kasser and Wheat. So Turner, the leadoff batter. Then it's Hamke, Crandall, Tyler Bugner, Zach Kolakowski, Bryant Klusender, B.J. Den, Andrew Cole, and DJ Gasso is the lineup for the Hutch Monarchs here tonight. And the first pitch fouled off by Hamke. Nick Hamke, right-handed batter. And Turner dancing around over there on the base pads. Throw over to first, and he was back in time. No balls and a strike. Tanner Hart on the hill for the Broncos. Quick throw over, and Turner back in again. The Hutchinson Monarchs are in the championship week of the NBC tournament, as are the El Dorado Broncos. That pitch upstairs, 1-1. The Monarchs are scheduled to play Saturday against St. Joseph of Missouri, the St. Joe Mustangs. 1 ball and 1 strike, and a throw back over to check up on Turner. The El Dorado Broncos, the bracket was released today for championship week at the NBC. And the 1-1 pitch, that's looked good, not in there, it's ball 2. The Broncos will play at 7 o'clock Friday night against Crestwood of Illinois. Here's the 2-1 pitch. That's looked like the same pitch. It's called a strike this time, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Talked about this a few times tonight. The Broncos, if and when they win on Friday night, will play Saturday, probably about 7 p.m. And strike 3 looking is Hamke. That'll bring up Quentin Crandall, the DH. If the Broncos would happen to lose on Friday night, they would play, looks like Sunday morning at 8 a.m. The Wellington Heat won last night in the Jayhawk battle with Liberal. Liberal had to survive a bunch of controversy today. Turner on the move. Galvin's throw is high, and Turner will slide in with a stolen base. Good throw, would have had him. The Liberal BJs played today against the San Diego Force. They'd won the game 5-3, posted it on Twitter, and then found out there was a protest. And it was a lengthy protest as the San Diego club was questioning an 8th inning balk call, which evidently there was runners on first and third, and the pitcher faked a throw to third and over to first. Now that's outlawed in the major leagues, but still allowed in the NCAA rules, which they go by at the NBC tournament. 2-0 pitch here to Crandall, and that's in there for strike one. So they had a long controversy. In fact, they were all geared up to restart the game at 2-2 in the eighth inning. And they continued to discuss and get tournament officials, and finally it was deemed that the protest was handled incorrectly, and Liberal was awarded the 5-3 win. Here's a chopper out to short. Isaacson gloves it over to first and retires Crandall for the second out of the inning. Turner moves on down to third base. Tyler Bugner, the left fielder, now steps up for Hutchinson. So Liberal now on the loser's side after losing to Wellington and then winning today. They're scheduled to play at 10 o'clock. Now a bunch of rain went through Wichita. Wellington's supposed to play at 7:15. Haven't heard if those games are pushed back at all. In the dirt, and Galvin with the block. The top two teams from this first week of the NBC qualify for championship week. The 1-0 pitch from Tanner Hard, off speed and way out in front, was Bugner. The Wellington Heat, who look pretty good right now, if they could win, they would play again Friday at 4 p.m. And one down to third, and Tony Kolsing with a diving snag of the ball, and that will retire the Monarchs here in the top of the first inning. No runs, a hit, no errors, and one left. We'll go to the bottom of the first. Monarchs 0, Broncos coming to bat. And welcome back here to Brad Long Field inside McDonald Stadium. Let's look at the lineups for the lineup for the Broncos and the fielding positions for the Monarchs. The Broncos will lead off with Will Bamesberger, Kyle Kasser bats second, Clayton Dalrymple third, Matt Holcomb is fourth, Elijah Christensen fifth, Josh Galvin batting sixth, Dalton Wheat seventh, Tony Kolsing is eighth, and Augie Isaacson will bat ninth. For the Monarchs in the field, in right field is B.J. Dinn. Left field is Tyler Bugner, and the center fielder is Trevor Turner. Third baseman is DJ Gasso. At shortstop, Nick Hammocky. The second baseman is Kolakowski. And the first baseman is Klusender. Andrew Cole catching, and pitching for the Monarchs is Jared Jameson. Right-handed pitcher. His first pitch outside. Second one in there. 1 ball and 1 strike to Will Bamesberger. Broncos knocked off Valley Center last night, 11-1. Here's the 1-1 pitch, and that one's low, ball 2. Bamesberger last night, 1 for 4 with a single. He scored twice. He also walked. And that one outside, ball 3. Been saying B.J. Dinn. It's B.J. Dean out in right field, not Den. I apologize for that. And a walk to Will Bamesberger.
Now at the plate from Oregon University.
So that'll bring up Kyle Kasser.
Kyle Kasser.
Left-handed batters, Kasser out of the University of Oregon, his average up to 380. 30 hits in 79 at bats. And the first pitch to Kasser, that's on the corner for strike one. Nice to have you tuned in here tonight, our final broadcast of the season. We will not be able to broadcast from the NBC, so of course follow along on Twitter. Hopefully there'll be lots of Twitter updates, and also you can always check to see the opponent and see if they have a website, see if they're broadcasting. Here's a pitch that's outside, and that pitch, that throw down to second over the shortstop's head, but a good backup there by the second baseman Kolakowski, a stolen base for Bamesberger. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Jared Jamison, 6'4", 185, out of Tennessee Wesleyan University. That's in the NAIA. Hometown is Oklahoma City, so not too far from home here in El Dorado. Here's the 1-1. Kasser lines it out into right center field. That will get down. Kasser on his way to second. Bamesberger will score, and Kasser with a double. Kyle Kasser continues to hit the ball well for El Dorado. So 2 batters and already a run for the Broncos. And here comes Clayton Dalrymple. Love to sing Clayton's praises. Boy, he has had a fabulous season. Gary, our statistician, informing me last night that Clayton, with his 8 outfield assists, is the all-time leader in Bronco history, which dates back to 1987. 8 outfield assists for Dalrymple this season. Looks at strike one. Clayton out of Kansas State University. Kyle Kasser down at second base. 1-0 Broncos. And the pitch from Jamison. That one's down and in, ball one. Dalrymple, the leading hitter in average, on base percentage, at bats, runs, hits, and RBIs and stolen bases. And outfield assists. Dalrymple hits one in the hole, gloved, at least knocked down by the shortstop. Fine play there by Hammocky. Kasser unable to advance, but it's an infield single for Clayton Dalrymple. So that'll bring up Matt Holcomb. Matt Holcomb last night went 1 for 5 with a single and an RBI. 1-0 Broncos, and the pitch to Holcomb, and it's lifted out into shallow right field, and the first baseman in foul territory. Klusender makes the catch. So the first out of the inning for El Dorado, and that'll bring up Sparks Christensen.
Number 34, Elijah Sparks Christensen.
Elijah stands in, and the pitch, and he had a notion, held up, and it looks at ball one. Elijah Christensen, Tarleton State University, 6'3", 235, out of Justin, Texas. Kasser off a second, Dalrymple off first, and Christensen bounces one foul down the third base line. 1 ball and 1 strike. 1 already in here for El Dorado in their final home game, their final tune-up before the NBC World Series. El Dorado will play Friday night at 7 o'clock. The 1-1 pitch here to Christensen. And welcome back. And if we have any Hutch Monarch fans watching tonight, every now and then we operate off our wireless internet connection here at McDonald Stadium, and from time to time we will lose our connection, so your screen will go black for a little bit. Apologize for that. We're back on. You haven't missed anything, as Andrew Cole was getting worked on, looked like a bloody nose. Christensen calls time at the last moment, and it was granted. 1 ball and 2 strikes here to Elijah Christensen. 1 away for El Dorado here in the bottom of the first inning, 1 already in. Kyle Kasser with a RBI double. Dalrymple with a single that was kept in the infield by the shortstop, Nick Hammocky. Jared Jamison dealing with Elijah Christensen, and now we'll have a stroll out to the mound. And Andrew Cole now will return back behind the dish. Josh Galvin waiting on deck for El Dorado. Dalrymple over at first, Kasser at second. 1 away here in the Bronco first. And now Jamison's got his sign. The 1-2 pitch coming to Christensen. And that one's in the turf. Nice stop there by Cole. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The Hutch Monarchs. Sharp uniform, a navy blue top and powder blue numerals with white trim. The Broncos in their camouflage orange unis with the black numerals and the white trim. 2 balls and 2 strikes here to Christensen. And the pitch, and Elijah fouls that fastball off. It's a busy time here around McDonald Stadium, not only baseball, but is it the 4-H fair, or is that what it is? 4-H fair. There is. Tell you what, today was as far away as I had to park since July 4th. Cars everywhere. So any foul balls out into the parking lot, folks are going to have to be heads up. And the cars are definite targets tonight. 2 balls and 2 strikes, and that one across the knees, and strike 3 for Elijah. So that'll bring up Josh Galvin. Out of Kentucky Wesleyan is Josh Galvin. Jose and Migdalia Galvin. I knew they'd be tuned in, and I appreciate the email already, and we'll see what Josh can do. He looks at ball 1. We lost our connection before Galvin got up. There was a game a few weeks ago where a couple times when Josh came up, we just lost our connection. Galvin's thought maybe I was playing with him. I wasn't. 1 ball and no strikes, and Galvin fouls this one off. But I keep double-checking, making sure we're on. May even see my head poke in there from time to time. 1 ball and 1 strike. Galvin batting .253 on the season, 21 out of 83. And out of those 21 hits, 6 have gone for doubles, 1 home run. And that pitch, the 1-1 outside, 2 balls and 1 strike. I've appreciated all the emails from Jose and Migdalia Galvin out of Cicero, Illinois. I don't know if I've ever told him I'm a Wisconsin, born and bred for 20 years, central Wisconsin. I'm not sure how far Cicero is from the Wisconsin border. Galvin hits one towards short. Hammocky with the backhand. Couldn't get it out of his glove. Fires to second, and safe is Dalrymple, who runs everything out hard, no matter the score. So we'll see. That's a fielder's choice for Galvin. So he won't get credited with a hit, but he is on base. And Dalton Wheat steps up for the Broncos. Wheat, limited action right now, 18 at-bats. He's got 5 hits. That's good for a .278 batting average. Bases loaded, and he tries to go the other way and fouls it. No balls and 1 strike. 1-0 El Dorado, 2 away here in the bottom of the first inning, and the bases are loaded. Kyle Kasser at third, Clayton Dalrymple at second. Josh Galvin is at first base. And the pitch from Jamison. That one looked good, but the home plate umpire has squeezed both pitchers in this first inning. And this is more of a tune-up again, fairly scripted by both teams. Last night we saw that from Valley Center and El Dorado. Tonight looks like the same thing from Hutchinson. You'd like to see maybe a little more liberal strike zone. 1 ball and 1 strike. And this one hit by Wheat down to third base. And the tag is applied to Dalrymple, and that will end the inning. The Broncos get a run on a couple of hits. No errors. They leave 2 men. We will head to the second inning. It's El Dorado 1, Hutchinson 0. So Tanner Hart back on the hill for his second inning of work tonight. The Broncos tonight will be throwing Tanner Hart 2 innings. Chris McKeehan will get a couple innings, so hopefully Gwen is watching in tonight. Drew Johnson, Colt Weiner, Derek Feige, Bamesberger the 8th, and Witherspoon's going to go the 9th inning tonight. So, again, pitchers getting a little repetition here. There's one in there for strike 1 against Zach Kolakowski. And that's what both managers want to do. Hutchinson's got 6 pitchers set to pitch here tonight. Last night we saw Valley Center throw 8. El Dorado threw, I think, 6 last night. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Zach Kolakowski, the second baseman. Curveball hit out to second base. Kasser's got it on a couple of hops over to first to retire Kolakowski. And the first down of the inning. And here comes Bryant Klusender, the first baseman. Bryant Klusner. And he looks at ball 1. Klusner is out of Butler County Community College. Hometown is Andover. So playing at his field that he plays on during college life. 2 balls and no strikes here to Klusner. And here's one hit up the middle. Isaacson gets it, fires over to first, and the second out recorded. That one it was bouncing, and then it hit the backside of the mound, and it just rolled out to Isaacson. So here comes B.J. Dean. B.J. Dean out of Emporia State. And he's first pitch swinging, lifts it out to center field. Clayton Dalrymple will gather it, and a very efficient second inning for Tanner Hart. He didn't get a ton of warm-up pitches, and well, he didn't need many. He only threw about 5 in that inning. 3 up, 3 down for the Monarchs. We'll head to the bottom of the second inning. El Dorado 1, Hutchinson 0. So it's Tony Colsing leading it off for El Dorado here in the home half of the second inning. El Dorado scored 1 in the first, left the bases loaded. Jamison out for the second inning, and Colsing fouls one off his foot. We don't need to see a lot more of those. Broncos already lost Tyler Sutherland that way a week ago. Colsing, Isaacson, and Bamesberger, the scheduled 3 for El Dorado here in the second inning. And the 0-1 pitch to Tony. Inside half, strike 2. Colsing's average now up to 224. It was 215 last night, so it went up 9 points with his effort here last night. Tony went 2 for 4. And there he went, and strike 3. Colsing, you might remember, had that big 2-out, 2 RBI single in the second inning that got things going for El Dorado. They ended up beating the champion of the Walter Johnson League, Valley Center, by a score of 11-1. Here's Augie Isaacson. Isaacson, new to the club. He's got a couple of at-bats and a hit. And he showed some marvelous speed last night. No balls and a strike, and there's a foul ball. No balls and 2 strikes. And Isaacson, a foul tip, and was it caught? No, the umpire said it hit the turf. The Broncos come in looking for win number 30 on the season. They're 29-13. And the 0-2 pitch. Hit up the middle, got through Jamison, and Isaacson's going to get there easy. Slid into first, didn't need to. That'll be a base hit. Isaacson now on the base pads for El Dorado.
Number 24, Will Bainsberger.
Looking at that NBC schedule, it'll be interesting. If El Dorado wins Friday, Valley Center plays the late game, the 10 p.m. game on Friday night, and they play Lake Erie. If both El Dorado and Valley Center win, they will play in a game that will probably be a little more tightly contested. That would be fun to see. The Monarchs are also in the top half of the draw, along with El Dorado. Going is Isaacson, that one in the turf, and he's able to steal it easily. Got a great jump. I'm not sure if that would have been gloved cleanly if Cole had a chance anyway. So with 1 away, Bamesberger with a 1-0 count. He walked, stole a base, and scored in the first inning. And hits this one up the middle. Jamison, nice job of fielding that one, and then flips it over to first. So the last two batters have gone right up the middle. Jamison partially got a glove on the first one from Isaacson. This time he was able to glove this one a little bit better. And now here comes the red-hot Kyle Kasser. Kasser, Cameron Knight, Clayton Dalrymple, probably the hottest batters in that order for El Dorado. Kasser, 13 of his last 22. He had a RBI double last inning. 2 away here in the Broncos second. And the pitch. Outside, ball 1. Again, that right center field gap where Kasser went in the first inning is open for him. If you look on your screen, you can probably see that gap between the right fielder and the center fielder. Here's the 1-0 pitch, and that one's hit down the third baseline, foul. One of the few home games where I've noticed the flag sticks blowing the opposite direction, blowing out of the northeast, blowing to give you on the field more towards right field and in. Normally it's blowing out to center field. Pitch close again, called a ball. Jamison's had several good ones not go his way. 2 balls and a strike. Clayton Dalrymple waits on deck for the Broncos. Down at third base, Augie Isaacson. And the 2-1 pitch. And that one's lifted into left field. It'll be in foul territory, but there to make a play is Bugner, and that will retire Kasser and the Broncos in the second inning. No runs, a hit, no errors, 1 left. We're through 2 complete from McDonald Stadium. It's El Dorado 1, Hutchinson 0. So we begin the top half of the third inning, and new pitcher for El Dorado. It's Gwen McKeehan's son. It's Chris McKeehan out there for El Dorado. Chris with a 3-0 record on the season, a 4.13 ERA, and 32 innings of work this year. And the right-hander fires and throws a ball, ball 1. Andrew Cole at the plate. And that pitch a little bit in, I guess. It's 2-0. It has been a tight zone for all the pitchers tonight. 2 balls and no strikes from McKeehan. That one's upstairs, ball 3. McKeehan this year, 16 walks and 32 innings of work. He struck out 19. And Chris fires in a strike, 3 balls and a strike. Enjoyed so many of these players this year. Chris certainly one of them. Had him on the air earlier this year, and he was a lot of fun to visit with. Out of Howard Junior College, and the pitch, 3-1 lifted high into the air. Kasser drifting back, Wheat coming in, but Kasser's going to get it, that wind blowing in a bit. Not much there, but they pop out to second base from Andrew Cole. So here comes DJ Gasso. DJ from Hutchinson Community College. His hometown is Norman, Oklahoma. And the 1-out pitch. Called a ball. 1 ball and no strikes. Trevor Turner waits on deck for the Monarchs. 1-0 El Dorado here in the third. If you're a Monarch fan, we'd love to hear from you. CadenBroadcasting@gmail.com. Here's a gentle pop. Isaacson will glove it behind second base for the second out. McKeon tied up Gasso there. So a couple of infield pop-outs to begin the third for Hutchinson, and to the top of their order and Trevor Turner. Turner singled, stole second, reached to third, but was stranded there. Looks to bunt and pulls it back, and that ball inside for ball 1. Turner from Barton County Community College. He's from South Hutchinson. And the 1-0, that's in there for strike 1. Turner, 5'10", 170. Looks like a terrific leadoff batter for the Monarchs. A 1-1 pitch, that one's in the turf. Glove there by Josh Galvin. 2 balls and a strike. Chris McKehan here in the third inning. Tanner Hart worked 2 good innings. That pitch in the turf, 3-1. Hart came into this game with a 2-3 record, but a 3.12 ERA and 2 scoreless innings here tonight. The 3-1 pitch. That one's in there, strike 2. So a full count here to Trevor Turner. Nick Hammocky waits on deck. Two away here in the Hutch third. 1-0 Broncos. And the 3-2 pitch hit in the hole, and that will be a seeing eye signal, a single for Turner. He takes a big turn, but not going anywhere. So Turner is 2 for 2. Just snuck that between Colsing at third and Isaacson at short. So Nick Hammocky comes up there, kid out of Fort Hays State University. He's from Hays, Kansas. Turner staying, McKeon's pitch upstairs, ball 1. Again, apologize on the link. It says Valley Center, and this is not Valley Center. These are the Hutchinson Monarchs, also from the Walter Johnson League. McKehan behind 2-0 here to Hammocky. Hammocky struck out his first time. And down low, 3-0. Looks like on my script here, McKehan will go 2 innings for the Broncos. A 3-0 pitch coming up to Hammocky. And that one's in there, strike 1. 3 balls and a strike. Wind blowing a little harder now out of the northeast. And Turner on the move, and Hammocky fouls this one out of play. So the second straight batter that McKeon goes 3-0 and then works it back full at 3-2. Turner singled, and he's at first base. He'll be running here on the pitch. And the pitch from McKehan is low, and a walk to Hammocky. So after the first 2 popped out, a single and a walk, and here comes the DH, Quentin Crandall. Right-handed batter is Crandall. And he looks at ball one. McKeon having trouble getting ahead of hitters here the last three batters now. He went 3-0 with both Turner and Hammocky. 1-0 here to Crandall, who grounded out to short his first time. 0 for 1. And this one's lifted in the air on the infield. Kyle Kasser's got a beat on it, so the Broncos are out of trouble here in the third. No runs a hit, no errors, 2 left. We're going to the bottom of the third inning. El Dorado 1, Hutchinson 0. So Ben Westerbarth is the new pitcher for Hutchinson. He is a 6'1", 180-pounder, right-hander. He's also from Hutch Community College. His hometown is Colwich, Kansas. And Clayton Dalrymple will lead it off for the Broncos here in the third inning. And he looks at strike one. El Dorado leading 1-0. In a game that's more like an exhibition, kind of a tune-up here for these teams who will be in action Friday night at Lawrence Dumont Stadium in Wichita at the NBC World Series. Both qualifying for championship week, so they're not having to play this week at the NBC. It's a 2-week tournament. Dalrymple down in the count 0-2, now 1-2. The first week is invitees, basically. And the top 2 teams from the first week advance to championship week. Dalrymple hits one down the third base line. That looked fair. They called it foul. From up here, of course, we don't have the best angle, but it looked like it went over the base. Now, by the time the third baseman, Gasso, gloved it, he was in foul territory for sure, but it looked like it went over the base. So it's still 1-2 to Clayton Dalrymple. Clayton 1 for 1 on the night with a single. And fooled on this one and strikes out. Good pitch from Westerbarth. That'll bring up Matt Holcomb, the first baseman. He popped out to his counterpart over at first base, Klusner, in the first inning. Matt Holcomb, a .350 batting average. The Broncos as a team hitting .301. That's terrific. That bat broke. Holcomb grounds it to short, and a little bit of a wild throw, and he'll be tagged out over at first. So that'll bring up Elijah Christensen, the DH here tonight. Elijah struck out in the first inning. His average at .267. 9 home runs for Elijah, always a long ball threat. 27 hits on the year, 9 homers, and 4 doubles. Strike one to Elijah Christensen. Now we lose our connection there for a moment. I think you might have seen Tyler Bugner try to lay down a bunt. It was a good one, but boy, Chris McKeehan off the mound grabbed it and made a strong throw to first to just get Bugner. Great play by McKeehan. So here's Zach Kolakowski, and he looks at strike one. No balls and a strike, and that one down low, ball one. Again, if you're new to the broadcast, if you lose your picture, don't panic. We'll just lost our internet connection. We just have to disconnect and reconnect and get back on. That one low, ball two. 2 balls and a strike. And the 2-1, that one's high and in, ball 3. So 3 balls and a strike. Klusner waits on deck. And the 3-1 pitch, that one's in there, strike 2. A lot of full counts here for McKeehan. See if he can finish the deal here. 3 balls and 2 strikes. 1 away in the Hutchinson 4th inning. And the pitch hit towards Colsing at third. He's got it. Whistles one over to first. No problem for Tony in the second out of the inning. Well, Tony looks like he's not going to throw it hard, and it just is a laser beam right over to first base. So Bryant Klusner now up, the first baseman. Klusner grounded out to short his first time, 0 for 1. 2 away here in the 4th inning, and the first pitch in there for strike 1. Several Broncos playing catch down in the bullpen area, just staying loose. No balls and a strike. That one low and got through. Galvin may have gotten a piece of him as well. So a ball and a strike. And the 1-1 pitch to Klusner. Hit towards short again. Isaacson circles. He's got it over to first, and that will retire the Monarchs here in the 4th inning. And a couple pretty good innings for Chris McKeehan. 3 up and 3 down in the 4th. We'll go to the bottom of the 4th inning. Broncos 1, Monarchs 0. So the bottom of the fourth inning begins, and Josh Galvin will lead it off, and Jose with the no email when he saw that one get a piece of Josh's hand, but he's a tough dude. He's up there, no problems. He'll lead off here in the fourth inning. Galvin hit into a fielder's choice his first time. Batting left against the new pitcher, and there's a foul ball down the right side. Tyler Huffstickler is now pitching. Tyler from Tyler, Texas. He goes to school at Arkansas Tech. No balls and a strike to Galvin. Huffstickler goes from the stretch, and that one low, ball one. One ball and one strike to Josh Galvin. And the pitch, and that one's off the end of the bat. Some goofy spin there. Huffstickler's got it, and Galvin running hard down the line, but he's retired 1-3. He cued that one right off the end. Once it hit the turf again, it made a cut to the third base side, but Huffstickler was right there to glove it. He knew there was going to be some wacky spin on it. So Dalton Wheat comes up. He also went into a fielder's choice in the first inning. And a swing and a miss. Strike one. 1-3-0 for El Dorado. 0-2-0 for Hutchinson. And the 0-1 pitch, curveball, and that one's hit off the plate. This could be a tough play. Wheat running hard, flipping over to Huffstickler is Klusner, and that's nicely done by the Monarchs for the second out. Looked like it could be interesting, but Huffstickler did what he had to do. Klusner did his job, and the Monarchs retire Wheat. So here comes Tony Colsing. Tony struck out in the second inning. And the first pitch to Tony, and that one's laced up the middle, gloved by the second baseman Kolakowski, over to first and retired Colsing. What a play by the Monarchs. Second baseman Zach Kolakowski robbing a hit from Tony Colsing. 3 up, 3 down for the Broncos in the fourth. We'll head to the fifth. El Dorado 1, Hutchinson 0. missed there as we lost our connection. Trevor Turner took, so bases are now loaded for Hutchinson. B.J. Dean led off the inning for Hutch. He struck out. Then Andrew Cole singled. Terrific at bat. DJ Gasso hit one through the right side. And now Trevor Turner walks. Broncos would love a double play. Nick Kamicki 0 for 1 with a walk. He struck out in the first, walked in the third, and this ball hit towards first but fouled. Chad Gerwick, not Zach Beery, went out to talk to Drew Johnson just a moment ago. No balls and a strike. And the pitch, low, ball 1. 1-0 Broncos, but Hutchinson threatening here in the fifth. And the 1-1, that one bounces in, ball 2. Two-one pitch. That one's hit out into center field, a base hit. Dalrymple has it on one hop, and he will run it in, and the Monarchs have tied the game. 4 straight have reached for Hutchinson. Andrew Cole comes in to score. He started all this off with a terrific at-bat against Drew Johnson, fouling off numerous pitches. And now Quentin Crandall comes up there. 1-1 our score now. And the pitch from Johnson, that's hit towards second base. Kasser's got it, throws over to second for 1. Isaacson didn't have a chance at first, and a run scores, and the Monarchs take a 2-1 lead. Crandall reaching on a fielder's choice. Tyler Bugner comes up. He's 0 for 2. He's been retired on 2 nice defensive plays. One, a line out to Tony Colsing. And then an attempted bunt hit. Here's one hit out into left field. Bamesberger has got it. And the Broncos are out of trouble and out the inning. But they give up 2 runs, and the Monarchs now lead. We're halfway through from El Dorado. It's Hutchinson 2, El Dorado 1. So we head to the bottom of the 5th inning, and the Broncos trail for the first time tonight. El Dorado scored a run in the bottom of the 1st inning, and they led 1-0 up until the top of the 5th when Hutchinson strung together 2 runs on 3 hits. 2-1, Hutchinson. Huff Stickler stays out there for Hutch here in the 5th, and he'll deal with Augie Isaacson, and Isaacson fouls one the other way for strike 1. Augie with a 2nd inning single and a steal of second base. He's 1 for 1. The 0-1 pitch, that curveball started at him and it broke right across there, and Isaacson knew it. No balls and 2 strikes. And the 0-2, swing and a miss in the turf. Isaacson will run down to first. Hutchinson will complete the strikeout of Isaacson, with Andrew Cole throwing down to Bryant Klusner. So one away into the top of the order for El Dorado and Will Bamesberger. And it's not going to be Bamesberger, it's going to be Wade Hanna stepping in. Wade Hanna out of Emporia State. Looks at ball one. Wade, a .333 hitter on the season, 42 hits and 126 at-bats, 4 doubles and a home run for Wade. He's driven in 19 this year. And the 1-0 off the plate, ball two from Huffstickler. Tyler Huffstickler. Breezed through the fourth inning. And the 2-0 pitch, Hanna, good rip, and he fouled it out of play. Two to one Hutchinson, home half of the fifth inning. And the pitch. Low, ball three. Looks like Jake Woodkey on deck for El Dorado. And Hanna able to shoot one through the right side and a base hit for Wade Hanna. So Woodkey now will hit for Kyle Kasser. Woodkey, a .202 batter this year. 89 at-bats and 18 hits. Hanna getting his lead off of first against the left-hander, Huffstickler. And that pitch in there for strike one. That was the first hit for El Dorado since Augie Isaacson single in the second inning. No balls and a strike. And that one in there again, 0-2. No balls and 2 strikes here to Jake Woodkey, young man from Kansas State University. Hometown is Shawnee, Kansas. And Woodkey hits one towards second. Kolakowski's got it over to second for one, and looked like Woodkey beat it. But he is rung up. A 4-6-3 double play to end the fifth inning. We'll head to the sixth. Hutchinson 2, El Dorado 1. Broncos come to bat here in the 6th inning. Zach Kolakowski will lead it off. Hutchinson leading 2-1. Kolakowski's 0 for 2 tonight, grounded out to second and to third. Some changes for the Broncos. Colt Weiner is now pitching. Grant Wares at shortstop. Jake Woodkey at second. And here's one flipped out to right field. Dalton Wheat unable to make a play as that one drops in foul. Clayton Dalrymple is moved from center to left field, and Wade Hanna is in center field now for El Dorado. The 1-2 pitch from Weiner, a slow curve is hit foul. Colt, a 6.11 ERA this year. He is 2-0. And again, that slow curve, and that one's fouled off. Huff Stickler and Drew Johnson right now, the pitchers of record. And the 1-2 pitch tapped over Weiner, and that's going to, no, Woodkey loved it, but no chance to throw out Kolakowski. So that'll be a single for Kolakowski, and that'll bring up Bryant Klusner. And it's John Oliver instead batting here for Klusner, and that pitch inside. So the first at bat for Oliver. 2. Oliver out of Central Missouri State. He calls Kansas City, Missouri home. And the 2-0, and that's lifted out into left field. Dalrymple going back near the track, on the track, and makes the catch. Wind didn't help Oliver there. So 1 away. And the new batter now is not on our roster. At least we have a roster tonight, but this is number 25, who we don't have a name for. First pitch outside, ball 1. Colt Weiner led at Butler County Community College the last couple of years. Heading to Central Oklahoma. That one inside, ball 2. 2-1 Hutchinson here in the top of the 6th inning. Turned out to be a beautiful night for baseball for sure. Breeze blowing in. Ball 3. And a cooler breeze. We've had some wind, not much, but it's always been hot. And now with that front going through, it's very comfortable. Weiner bounces this one in, and a 4-pitch walk to number 25. And looks like another, and Andrew Cole's night is done, it looks like. And now coming to the plate, number 31, Timothy Wakefield. Wakefield kind of chokes up on that bat. He looks at strike 1. Runners at first and second for Hutch. 1 out in the 6th. And Wakefield behind 0-1. Hits this one towards third. Colsing's got it. Will touch third for 1. Over to first. Double play. A 5U3 double play from Tony Colsing. And the Broncos are out of trouble in the 6th. No runs, a hit, no errors, and 1 left. We'll go to the bottom half of inning number 6. 2-1 Hutchinson. So the Broncos come up here in the bottom of the sixth inning. Broncos trailing right now by a score of 2-1. Hello to Wayne Knight, who's listening and watching in. Said he thought it was a little bit quiet, so I'm going to try to check my volume controls here tonight and make sure everything's coming across all right. It appears to be working fine on my end. Clayton Dalrymple leading off, and that pitch, I'm not sure where it was, called a ball. Noah Draper now pitching for Hutchinson. Their roster has 2 number 15s, but neither is Noah Draper. So 1 ball and 1 strike to Dalrymple. And the 1-1. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Clayton 1 for 2 tonight, a single in the first inning and struck out in the third. The 1-2 pitch. Outside, ball 2. Defense plays Dalrymple pretty much straight away. And the 2-2 pitch. Ball 3, close. Good eye from Dalrymple. Dalrymple, Holcomb, and Christensen are the scheduled 3 for El Dorado here in the 6th inning. And the 3-2 and a swing and a miss. So Dalrymple with a couple of strikeouts tonight. That'll bring up Matt Holcomb out of Howard Junior College, hometown of Flower Mound, Texas. 6'3", 215 is Holcomb. Holcomb, a .350 hitter. Suffered an eye injury a couple weeks, 2-3 weeks ago. Catching or goofing around with balls in the outfield and took one right in the eye. He was sidelined for about a week. And now he seems to be back at full strength again. 1 ball and no strikes to Holcomb, and that's in there for strike 1. Holcomb 0 for 2 tonight. Popped out to first and grounded out to short. And Holcomb will call time. Matt has, baseball players, athletes in general, a lot of them have their superstitions, and Matt is very regimented in his. He steps out of the box. You can watch it here. He'll look down to third. No one's giving signs here with nobody on and 1 away. He'll wind the right arm and then wind the left arm, take a quick little half swing, bounce the bat on the plate a couple of times, and then he's ready to go. And laid on that offering from Draper and fouled it off. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And when he hits the plate, it's on the outside corner, then the inside corner. Slightly open stance for Holcomb. And the 2-2 from Noah Draper. And tried something funky there. That release looked different, and that ball stayed upstairs. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Draper winds and deals the pitch, and a swing and a miss. Good fastball from Draper. So he threw that kind of that funky, slow off-speed one to make it 3-2. Came back with the hard fastball, and Holcomb was behind. So it's Christensen's turn. Elijah 0 for 2, a strikeout in the first inning, and flew out to left field in the third inning. Looks at ball 1. 2 runs on 6 hits and no errors for Hutchinson. 1 run, 4 hits, no errors for the El Dorado Broncos. And the 1-0, curveball in there for strike 1. Don't forget, all these games, all our home broadcasts, they're all archived on my YouTube channel, and they'll be there forever. Here's the 1-1 to Christensen, and fooled there. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Game will archive soon after the final out is made. And Being my second year here, there's 2 years worth of games. The 1-2 pitch to Christensen, and he will lift this one foul. This one's car bound. And it missed a car. I don't know how it missed. Lands in the parking lot. Josh Galvin waiting on deck for the Broncos. 2 away here in the home half of the 6th inning. And the pitch, and Christensen hits it towards second base. Kolakowski's got it over to first, and the Broncos are down 1, 2, 3. No runs, no hits, no errors. No one left. We'll go to the 7th. Monarchs 2, Broncos 1. So the Monarchs stroll up to the plate here in the top of the 7th inning. A 2-1 Monarchs lead. Derek Feige is the new pitcher for El Dorado. Derek out of South Dakota State University, hometown of Sioux Falls, South Dakota. He's been the primary closer this year for El Dorado. 2 wins and 2 losses with 7 saves. 19 innings pitched, a 3.79 ERA. The number that's troubling, I think, for Derek, 17 walks in 19 innings, 13 strikeouts. John Eberhardt is into the game. He is out in right field now for the Broncos. We'll run down the Broncos in the field for you as there's been several changes the last couple innings. DJ Gasso leading off for Hutchinson. It was Gasso who singled and scored the go-ahead run in the 5th inning. He lifts one out to Eberhardt out in right. Started back, now coming in. That wind blowing in, and John had to turn it on a little bit there, but makes the catch rather routinely for the first out. Dalrymple is in left field. Wade Hanna in center, and Eberhardt in right. Tony Colsing at third. Grant Ware is at shortstop. Jake Woodkey at second. Matt Holcomb at first. Josh Galvin catching, and Derek Feige pitching. Colsing, Holcomb, Galvin, and Dalrymple have gone the whole way. And the first pitch to Trevor Turner in for strike 1. Turner's been a nuisance to the Broncos tonight. He's 2 for 2 with a walk. He's on base all 3 times so far. Here's the 0-1. High, ball 1. Again, the Broncos scheduled to play Friday night in the NBC World Series double elimination tournament. Turner bounces one off the plate, and that'll spin foul. El Dorado will play Crestwood of Illinois Friday night. We won't have any broadcasts of the tournament, so hopefully there'll be lots of Twitter updates, and go to the NBC World Series page to get the... They usually have they got a section there where they have all the scores and the box score and whatnot. 1 ball and 2 strikes, and Feige's pitch inside, ball 2. A win on Friday, and the Broncos will play Saturday night. A loss, and they'll play Sunday morning. Two-two pitch coming from Derek Feige. That one's tapped out to short. Grant Ware's got it over to first, and Turner is finally retired tonight. So 2 away in the Monarchs' 7th, and Nick Hammocky, I believe, let's see, might have a pinch hitter. Number 9, that is David Cronin.
Now batting for the Monarchs, number 9, David Cronin.
So Cronin, left-handed batter, steps in. First pitch is ball 1. Cronin is from Orland Park, Illinois. He goes to the University of Illinois at Chicago. The 1-0 pitch to Cronin. Hit up the middle. Got past Feige. Woodkey's there. Fires over to first and makes the play. Jake Woodkey, a tremendous defensive play for the Broncos. 3 up, 3 down for Feige. We'll stretch here at the ballpark, heading to the bottom of the 7th inning. Hutchinson 2, El Dorado 1. So a new pitcher comes in for the Hutchinson Monarchs, and it's Alex Ruxlow from McPherson, Kansas, goes to Hutchinson Community College. Another left-handed pitcher. And the Broncos will lead off here the 7th inning, trailing 2-1. It'll be Josh Galvin, John Eberhardt, and Tony Colsing. Chad Gerwick's done a great job, I think, the last 2 nights, getting everyone a little bit of time, a couple of at-bats, an inning or 2 of work on the hill. Cameron Knight caught all of last night's game. Galvin going all the way tonight, and Josh lifts this one high into the infield, and that is caught for the first out. So 1 away, and John Eberhardt steps in for the first time tonight. John with a .279 batting average, .347 on base percentage. He's got 31 hits, 9 of those doubles, 2 triples, and 5 home runs. Strike 1 to Eberhardt. The 0-1 pitch took something off, and it missed the zone. Ball 1. 1 ball and 1 strike. Thanks so much again to all of you watching and listening tonight. Hope you're enjoying our final broadcast of the season. Eberhardt lifts one over into the 4H area. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Off speed, Eberhardt hits it out into left field, and that'll be caught. Didn't quite get that one on the sweet spot. So two-away, and Tony Kolsing steps in. Kolsing was robbed by Kolakowski. Made a great play in the fourth inning to retire Tony, and Tony struck out in the second. He's 0 for 2. And Tony rips one out into left field, and that is gone. Tony Kolsing with the home run for El Dorado. First pitch, ripped it down the line. It was hooking, and it just got inside the foul pole. So a home run from Kolsing ties it up. And another, well, go figure, especially with Tony. 2-out hitting. Tony's average isn't sparkling. It's not going to blow you away, but I'll tell you what, in key situations, Tony Kolsing is money this year. 1 ball and no strikes to Grant Ware, his first at bat of the night. And that one's down low, ball 2. For Tony Kolsing, his 5th home run of the season, his 26th RBI, and his 29th run. 2-2. And Ware a swing and a miss, 2-1. And Ware a sharp single up the middle. So a little 2-out magic here from the El Dorado Broncos. And Wade Hanna steps in for the second time tonight. He's 1 for 1. Wade, a Emporia State University guy. From Shawnee, 5'10", 175. Wade Hanna came into this game batting .333. 1 home run on the season for Wade. Two-away here in the bottom of the 7th inning. And that pitch stays high, ball 1 from Ruxlow. Ware stepping off of first, and Hanna shoots one foul. My question is, well, I mean, we got a couple innings to go, but what happens if we go extra innings? Or would we go extra innings? Everyone's kind of used all their pitchers. I wonder if after 9 they would just call it. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. The 1-1, low, ball 2. Jake Woodkey waits on deck for the Broncos. And going and picked off is Ware. He just continues on down. Close play at second, and Ware is called out. The Broncos have not gotten the benefit of the doubt on some very close plays. That was very close at second. Umpire was right there, called him out. But Tony Kolsing with a 2-out, game-tying home run. We'll head to the 8th inning, all tied at 2. So, brand new ball game, tied up at 2 as we head to the 8th inning, and Quentin Crandall leading it off for Hutchinson. Crandall 0 for 3 tonight. Bamesberger, who started the game in the field for El Dorado, now will come into pitch for the Broncos. Out of Creighton University is Bamesberger, and he's behind 2-0 to start. Crandall fouls this one. Out of play. Two balls and a strike. And Crandall laces one out into right center field. It'll be cut off. Wade Hanna's got it. Crandall had a thought of going to second, but he'll hold up at first base with a clean single.
Number 6, Tyler Bugner.
So Bugner now comes up for Hutchinson. Tyler Bugner looks at ball one. Bugner was robbed by Colsing in the first inning, and then great play by McKeehan to retire him in the fourth. Fly out to left field in the fifth. 0 for 3 for Bugner. And the 1-0 pitch, Bugner squared to bunt and called a strike. Galvin goes out to talk to Bamesberger. One ball and one strike to Bugner. Crandall down at first base in a 2-2 tie. And the 1-1 hit out to second base. Woodkey's got it. Flips over to Ware for one. Back to first. Double play. 4-6-3. Woodkey started it. Ware in the middle and Holcomb at the backside. And just like that, 2 away, and Zach Kolakowski steps in. First pitch outside, ball one. The 1-0 from Bamesberger. Hit towards Colsing. He's got it on a couple of hops over to first base, and that retires the side. No runs a hit, no errors, and no one left. We'll go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Broncos 2, Monarchs 2. And we get ready for the bottom of the 8th inning. 2-2, we're tied. Want to say a special shout out to Oscar Morales and Julie Morales for the emails and the very kind words. And I will pass the words along to the terrific folks here in El Dorado. The city does a great job supporting the team. Lots of corporate sponsors for games and foster parents, and it takes a lot of good folks to make something like this go on year in and year out, and I appreciate the words of encouragement for me as well. Wade Hanna leading off here in the 8th inning, and he's quickly behind 0-2. It's been a lot of fun, even more fun this year than last year. The parent involvement has been great. There's 1-2. I know it's got to be hard to so many of these kids from far away. 1 ball and 2 strikes. That one inside, ball 2. And my IT guy at work last year told me about Google Hangouts, and we can broadcast games and just need that wireless internet connection. Here's the 2-2, fouled off. And, of course, normally we've got a radio. I work for radio stations that you just call in on the phone line and have an in-studio engineer lets you know if anything's sounding wrong or not. This is a little different. Here's a ground ball out to short. Hanna hustling down, but he's going to be retired, 6-3. So when you're doing something like this, when it's just me here, really depend on so many of all you good listeners and viewers to make sure. I've several times been told, well, you're off the air, or maybe the audio isn't audible, and all those comments, all the kind comments, all those things really help out in these broadcasts. So tip of the cap to so many of the good parents out there who've supported their teams and myself this year, as Jake Woodkey flips one out. Boy, in that Bermuda triangle right between center field, right field, and the second baseman. A near collision out in right field. Fortunately, no one hurt. And even better for the Broncos, a base hit for Jake Woodkey. But it's a lot of fun for me. In my other jobs, I get to broadcast football and basketball at the high school and college level, but unfortunately in our town, no chance to broadcast baseball. So this has been fun for me as well to do. I like all the other sports, but baseball is probably my favorite. Clayton Dalrymple up at the plate. Alex Stewart is the pitcher for Hutchinson here in the 8th inning. 1 away in the Bronco 8th, as I've been yammering along here. 1 away, and Jake Woodkey over at first base. Clayton Dalrymple at the plate, and Clayton's had a rough night so far. Well, 2 strikeouts, which is not normal for him. He's 1 for 3. Woodkey's on the move, and the pitch in there, and Woodkey is safe at second base. Just did keep that hand in there. So a stolen base for Jake Woodkey. And one of the other joys, and Oscar Morales even said he even the 2-1 pitch to Holcomb. That one dives low. Ball 3. 3 balls and a strike to Matt Holcomb. Woodkey's down at second base. Dalrymple at first. And the 3-1 pitch. Low and away. Ball 4. So they are loaded for Elijah Christensen. And we're going to have a mound meeting for the Monarch manager. El Dorado, if you're tuning in a bit late, scored in the bottom of the first inning. Led 1-0 until the top of the fifth when Hutchinson scored twice. But then Tony Colsing with 2 outs in the bottom of the seventh inning hit a line drive home run right down the left field line that just curled inside of that foul post to tie the game at 2. Wade Hanna grounded out to short to start this inning. Woodkey a single and a stolen base. Dalrymple walked and Matt Holcomb walks. So Alex Stewart now has to try to dig himself out of trouble here. Sorry for losing our connection there a couple of times. Christensen looks at ball 1. Elijah 0 for 3 tonight. A strikeout, a fly out to left, and a ground out to second base. Infield plays halfway. Christensen, a high pop-up on the infield. So the infield fly rule is in place, and, well, especially at home all season long, it's been 2-out hits. And wouldn't it be fitting if the Broncos could get one here? 2 away, and it's Josh Galvin. I know the Jose and Migdalia have been emailing me tonight and watching in, and this is a big moment for their son, Josh Galvin. 0 for 3 tonight. Bases loaded, 2 outs in the bottom of the 8th inning. And Galvin hits one down to the first. It is gloved, and that retires the side. So Stewart works into trouble and then works out, gets a pop out and a ground out. And the Broncos are done in the 8th inning. No runs, a hit, no errors, and 3 left on base. We'll head to the 9th. El Dorado 2, Hutchinson 2. So the Broncos now go to Josh Witherspoon here in the 9th inning. A 2-2 game between Hutchinson and El Dorado. Broncos missed a golden opportunity in the bottom of the 8th. Bases loaded, 1 out. Couldn't cash it in. John Oliver leading off here for Hutchinson. He's 0 for 1 tonight. And hits one out towards second base. Woodkey's got it. Little in-between hop over to first, and Oliver is retired. So 1 away, and that'll bring up number 25. We don't have his name. Bill Young announces it properly, says apropos there, number 25. And Witherspoon leads him off with an outside corner strike. Good location there for Josh. The 0-1 pitch, that's off the plate, ball 1. Witherspoon with a 3.00 ERA in 18 innings pitched. He's given up 9 hits in 18 innings. He's been tough. And fooled badly was number 25, and it's strike 2. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Timothy Wakefield waits on deck for the Monarchs. Witherspoon in his 18 innings of work, 16 strikeouts. 1-0 with 2 saves. And reaching out and spoiling that pitch, fouling it out of play. Witherspoon winds and deals, and again, a good pitch and a good job spoiling that pitch is this number 25. We'll do it again, the 1-2. Down low, good stop by Galvin, 2-2. 1 in the first and 1 in the 7th for El Dorado, 2 in the 5th for Hutchinson. And the 2-2, swing and a miss. So 2 away, and that'll bring up Timothy Wakefield. Wakefield grounded into a 5-3 double play in the 6th inning. Runners at first and second and 1 out, and he chopped it down to Colsing, who touched third and then went across to first. First pitch outside, ball 1 to Wakefield. Wakefield's from Australia. I don't know if I want to take a Toongabbie, Australia. And he plays at Dodge City Community College. 5'11", 190. And now 1 ball and 2 strikes to Wakefield. 2 away in the 9th, and the pitch chopped out to shortstop. Ware's got it on a high hop over to first, and that will retire the Monarchs in the 9th. So we'll see if we can walk it off here for the final home game of the season. Hutchinson and El Dorado tied at 2. So a 2-2 score going to the bottom of the ninth inning. Hutchinson brings in Tyler Bratton, 5'10", 205-pounder out of Porter, Texas. Goes to Concordia University. And he'll deal with Eberhardt, Colsing, and Ware here in the bottom of the ninth. First pitch in there for strike one. John Eberhardt came into the game in the seventh inning, flew out to left field. And way out in front of that off speed, 0-2. Again, not really sure if we will play extra innings here tonight. We'll wait and see if the Broncos can just get a run here and end this game. Going for their 30th win of the season, 29-13. Champions of the Jayhawk Northern Division. Bratton dealing with Eberhardt. No balls and 2 strikes. And John loops one into right field. That's going to drop in for a leadoff single. Right off the fists, and he muscled it out to right field. So here comes Tony Colsing. Tony homered to tie the game in the seventh inning. He's 1 for 3. That homer for Tony was his 5th home run of the season. We'll see if Chad Gerwick wants to put the bunt down. Will he let him hit? I'm going to guess, seeing no activity in either bullpen, that this is probably going to be it. Win or tie. And the first pitch got through the catcher, and so the Monarchs do the Broncos a favor. Pass ball. Catcher got crossed up, it looked like there. So now the winning run is at second base. So many great moments this year for this El Dorado team. Probably my favorite, and it was captured on film, was the 4th of July win. A huge, huge crowd. Just a terrific night. And then a run in the bottom of the ninth inning to win it with fireworks going off out in the outfield. Just a terrific moment here at McDonald Stadium. 1-0 to Colsing, and a swing and a miss. Tony out of Chaska, Minnesota. I've enjoyed visiting with Lynn Colsing through the email this year. Haven't heard from Lynn tonight, but hopefully watching and got to see Tony's home run. If not, you can watch it on the archive. Here's the 1-1 pitch. That one's low, ball 2. Two balls and a strike. Bottom of the ninth inning, tied at 2. Eberhardt down at second, and the pitch. Colsing hits it out into right center field. That is going to drop. Here comes John Eberhardt, and the El Dorado Broncos have won it. Tony Colsing with the game-tying home run and the game-winning single. What a night for Tony. As they chase Tony down with the water bottles, and El Dorado does win their 30th game of the season. Good contest here tonight between the Monarchs and the Broncos. 30-13, and now both teams get ready for the NBC World Series. El Dorado playing Friday night at 7 o'clock, I saw on the schedule. Hutchinson will play Saturday, I'm guessing Saturday morning, against St. Joseph out of Missouri. So we wish the Broncos all the best, and again, wish we could cover them, but we cannot. So I will be, like you, watching the Twitter and whatnot, following along the best I can, and I'll try to keep some things updated the best I can as well. Hutchinson and El Dorado, 3 runs and 9 hits for the Broncos, 2 runs on 7 hits for Hutchinson. The winning pitcher tonight, Josh Witherspoon, and the losing pitcher is Tyler Bratton. Witherspoon improves to 2-0 on the season. So the Broncos do it upright. Time of tonight's game, 2 hours and 11 minutes. And the Broncos again win it in walk-off fashion by a score of 3-2. Tony Colsing, definitely our hitting star of the night. Tony with a home run in the 7th inning to tie it and a single in the 9th to win it. Hope you've enjoyed all our broadcasts this year. They will be archived. This will be a fun one to go back and watch. Big thanks to Dale and Gina Short, who have helped me out a bunch up here. Bill Young, our terrific public address announcer. And, well, I couldn't do much without Gary, our statistician, so appreciate Gary. Of course, Doug Bell and Vicki Bell, who are right at the top of the order for the El Dorado Broncos. It's been a fun season. Hope you've enjoyed it. It's been a real pleasure to broadcast these games and bring them home to you for those of you who live so far away. I hope you have enjoyed it, and by telling by your emails, I know you have. Again, best of luck to the El Dorado Broncos as they seek another World Series title. They haven't won it since 2009, and they certainly have a club this year that could make some noise. It's a double elimination tournament. They're starting Friday night in Wichita. So, for the final time for this season, thanks so much for all your support and your listenership and your watchership, if that's a real word. Kurt Caden bidding you farewell and good night from El Dorado.